Welcome back to SnowRunner. You join us today in the Chevrolet CK1500 as we're looking to do two missions today, the first being Forged by the Sea, which we're about to complete now. This mission just involved us going to a point on the Drummond Island map and stopping there, essentially. So the Chevrolet CK1500 as a scout vehicle was perfect for this, mainly because the Scout 800 is still on its roof and I refuse to get it back just yet. So that is that mission complete. Forged by the Sea is done. Now that has opened up a new mission, which is what we're doing today, which is cargo from the ship. We begin today in the International Transtar 4070A as we're just getting into position to take the cargo from this location all the way through Drummond Island and back into Smithfield Dam. And from there we have to wind down the mountain and head to the warehouse. We have to do this twice, and the aim is to do this with two different vehicles just to vary it up a little bit. So we've collected our cargo and now we can get underway. I do have some concerns about this. This is going to be a tough one. I think the International Transtar is definitely up for this task, but this is quite a heavy load and it's very tight getting around some of these corners. These rocks are horrendous to get round, to be fair. I just don't know if we can make it, but I don't really think any other vehicle will either. We've already attempted a couple of tries with the Western Star Twinsteer, which I'm probably going to put as outtakes at the end of this video, along with anything else that happens. Hopefully not too many. So that'll probably be the end of the video when I get to editing, so do check that out. I'm sure I'll say something in it about it at some point, but yeah, I'm hoping there's not too many outtakes. We have attempted this. No, seriously, we haven't even got very far and we're already over. Hang on, we're not quite out. We can't go. Yes, I don't know how we saved that, but that is incredible. I just noticed that the actual cargo wasn't quite out, and I thought if we get this up slowly, unpack and pack again, it straps it back down. We've saved the cargo there. That saved us a lot of trouble. That was about to be another outtake. Obviously you guys haven't seen it yet, but we'll probably, I'll say, add it as outtakes in the episode. We've attempted twice previously this mission in the Western Star 6900 Twinsteer and failed miserably, but I'm sure you'll see that later on. But the International Transtar nearly coming a cropper there. Luckily we managed to save it just about, and we can get going again. This, I think, out of all the issues I think this mission is going to have, this start point is the worst part. I don't think there's not too much of any other issues along the way, because once we hit the road, the main road in Drummond, on this island, or Drummond Island, there won't be an issue. It'll be a nice easy run. Going into Smithfield Dam, do have to be a little bit careful as we're coming down the mountain. There are some really tight turns that can cause you the tip, but actually this start point's the worst, so we should be out. We should be over the worst of things now, hopefully. Fingers crossed, touch wood, find some wood somewhere quick in case it goes wrong again, but we should be out of the worst of it. Twinsteer also making Transtar, sorry, making short work of going across the water there as well, which really helps. Yeah, this vehicle's brilliant. We know the power this vehicle has. It doesn't have a diff lock, it doesn't have all-wheel drive, but the power sees it through when it needs it. I'm always a bit reluctant to use the winch. I know it was said in a comment the other day, and I am reluctant to use the winch. It's really weird. I kind of feel like I need to save it, like there's limited uses, and I don't try to use it too often. I think that's probably a downfall on my side. Maybe we need to use the winch a little bit more, just to help us out of these situations when it could speed us up a little bit, maybe. I don't know. It's something I've got to try and work into my own gameplay and into my head. I don't know why it is I feel like I need to save it, because there's no need to, but I do feel like I need to save the winch sometimes. Ignore the vehicle to our right. If anyone can guess what the vehicle was that's down there, please let us know in the comments. But yeah, that was a failed attempt just to get here. It didn't go very well. Okay, I can't make the corner. I'm trying to turn left, but for some reason I cannot make this corner, and that tree is kind of in my way. It's all it is because of the way the trailer's angled. If we can get the angle right, it wouldn't be an issue. I need to reverse back, I think. Just try and get this angle. There we go. That might help a little bit there. We have got the winch attached as well. Come on, turn. I said this start bit would be the worst. No. It's so nerve-wracking as well. I keep thinking we're about to lose it again and have more issues. Right, come on, pull us round. So I'm using the winch at least. I just need to go left. There's nothing to grab onto on the left, because that would be ideal, just to pull us round. I just can't quite get the angle here to get the trailer to swing as well, and our front part isn't really fully on the floor some of the time. There we go. I think we've got it. It was just that issue, because if the wheels on the front aren't on the ground, you're not getting any steering angle, and that was the issue there. Because of the gradient as well, it didn't really help, but we made it. That's the important part. Now, I think we're over the worst of it. I think we can skip through the water on the left here. I think we don't have to go round to where there's a trailer. One of the trailers that fixes vehicles. There's one further around. We don't need to go that way. We can skip through the water. It's not really that deep. No. Oh, come on. As you can see, it happened again. The Transtar is down on its side with the cargo out as well. So, we called on the GMC. Not your first choice of rescue vehicle, but we called on the GMC and drove it all the way here with a crane attachment to put the cargo back on the Transtar after we got it back up and running again. I felt like we had to just keep going. We could have deleted the cargo, gone back, picked it up again, but I thought, well, that time that would take is probably the same kind of time it would take us to drive a vehicle here with a crane attachment. So of course I had a look at what we had in the garage at Smithfield Dam, saw the GMC and thought, okay, let's send this out. It's always good to test these vehicles with something we've not really used them for before. And this crane attachment I think we've only ever used on the Chevrolet Kodiak. So the GMC using it was very interesting. Seemed to handle it pretty well. The only issue I would say, and one of the reasons I've cut a big chunk of this bit out, including the drive here, is time of the video, but also I had a little issue where I was pressing the wrong button. So I was trying to raise up the cargo, and for some reason I was actually pushing it down, and it took me quite a while to work out why I couldn't pick up the cargo. So there's a big chunk of this bit missing just because I was there forever wondering why it wouldn't go up. Previously we've had this issue and it's because we've overextended. This wasn't that. It was literally me pressing the wrong button for a good 5-10 minutes. But we're back up and running. The International Transtar 4070A now has the cargo back on its trailer again. Hopefully this is the last time we need to do this. It's also borrowed some fuel from the GMC and we can get going once again. That was a complete faff. It really was. But we're back up and running. That's the important thing. Yeah, just this video length is going to be horrendous by the time I've done it. I'm going to have to edit so much out. It is ridiculous. But the main thing is up and running. Don't get stuck in the water now. Seriously. It's not even very deep. Okay, so the lack of all-wheel drive and diff lock probably isn't helping here. And as I say, normally the Transtar has the power just to power through these issues, but we are getting a bit stuck, and I wonder if it's because, is there a root or something maybe we're stuck on, a tree branch? There's nothing I can see, but there's something really stopping us from moving here. And even the winch itself, we're not moving, so there's something we're stuck on, I think. But I can't see what it is. But there's definitely something, isn't there? Oh, there we go. I think we've freed ourselves. A little bit anyway. Come on. There was definitely something there that was stopping us moving. Whether it's a rock or tree branch, there was something. Still having some issues though as well. Still not quite getting as much as we need to going forward. Come on. Let's get the winch going again. It seemed to work a minute ago. We just need to pick the right tree. But yeah, there's something stopping us here. I'm not too sure what it is. I can't see anything. That's the problem. I don't think it's just the mud alone. I think there's more to it. I know the cargo is heavy. Obviously that puts a lot of weight on the back, and in mud that can be an issue. But I don't think that's causing this issue. It could be, but I don't think it is. I think there is something getting caught somewhere. I just don't know where. Okay, this mud's getting quite deep actually as well. Maybe it is the mud. Maybe there isn't anything catching us. It is just the mud that's causing the issue. Just can't go forward. We're just, yeah, we're drowning essentially. I don't really want to have to use the crane again if we can avoid it. So we'll just drain a load of fuel out of it as well. Let's see if we can still pull ourselves forward with the trees. If we can get out of this without crane, brilliant. If we have to use the crane, we will. Let's try and use the trees first and just see if we can pull ourselves onto that road. That road is quite sturdy. It's not muddy to the point you're going to sink in it. So all we've got to do is to go onto that hard surface, and we're good. That's a dodgy angle. That does not look good. Yeah, we're just going to go onto that road part, and we should be good to go. Getting there, though, is another story. Oh, we're not close enough to the lamppost. If we can get close enough to that lamppost on that right-hand side, I think we'd be golden. But we've got to get close enough to it. But it's just not working. It's like a bog. We've kind of got into a bog accidentally here. Well, normally when we cut across this bit of water to get to where we're going, we don't come round this bit. We go further to the right, and I think that's where I've messed up. I've tried to come out too tight. Just because of where I was positioned when we had to get the cargo back on board. So we'd normally come out just past that little ridge on our right side where that grass bit is. That's normally where we'd use to come round onto the road. And I've instead chosen to go on this bit, which just seems to be more of a bog than anything else. Okay, all we can do is keep trying to winch ourselves forward, I think. Let's see if we can winch ourselves... I'm going to think further back and try and pull it forward, the trailer-wise. That might help us. We can get some winch movement there. That is working. I'd say we just need to get close enough so that the pole we can see across the other side of the road is within reach, because I think that will do it perfectly to pull us forward. Are we getting stuck on the tree? Could that be the issue now? It's one of those things you just can't always tell what is catching you here. Come on. And I'm being ever so careful not to get a weird angle that tips us over. I really thought after the GMC had helped us get the cargo on board, it was plain sailing. And I did say that from the start, the hardest point is that other bit over the water that was all rocky. I thought that'd be the worst part. Didn't think this would be an issue, but it does seem to be. Come on, we're out. The wheels aren't sinking as much now. I think we are golden. We should reach that pole ahead of us now. There we go. And that's nice and sturdy. It should be enough to pull us forward. Come on. It does feel like, it's not like we're sinking. It feels like something's stopping us moving, like there's a rock or something. But I think it is just the mud this time. Right, let's go. Let's go. Come on, keep going. Keep going. It's just, even with that pole, you know, the poles are the best because they're so sturdy. We're just not getting any traction on the wheels. And obviously we've got the off-road tyres on. I'm pretty sure it's the off-road tyres. I think every vehicle now has off-road tyres, to be fair. Other than the Pacific P16. No, I think that's off-road as well, to be fair. Trying to drive one-handed while trying to check tyre-wise. I shouldn't do this as I'm trying to drive. Everything has... Oh no, the Twinsteer doesn't. It's got the 55-inch DMHS freeze. I don't know what exactly they are. But yeah, so it hasn't. It's got good tyres on it. we've always tried to put the best tyres we possibly can on each time. So we should. It's got good tyres. So I don't think it's necessarily the tyres, but it just shows the lack of all-wheel drive and diff lock can cause issues. You know, that's why we leaned on the Fleet Star for so long. I know we've not seen it in a while. We haven't needed to use it in a while, to be fair. But that's why we leaned on it so much in the early days. That all-wheel drive gets you out of a lot of situations. But the Transtar's power normally allows it not to have this issue. But this time, power isn't enough, it seems. We're getting there. Oh, just gonna need to get this turned as well. Come on. It's getting there. We're now on the main bit of the road, which is good. So hopefully now we can now get going, because the traction should be better. There we go. No, nearly. There's a little bit of a ridge as well to get this over. Come on. Pedal to the metal. Full power. There we go. It's taken us a little while, but we're good to go. I didn't think that would be an issue there either. Like I say, I think we took it too tight. That caused us an issue. But well, at least we're moving now. This mission on paper looks so easy until you get to that area where you collect these cargo from, and then you think, oh, this is going to be a nightmare. And it's not been plain sailing. I didn't think it would be this bad though. I really thought we picked a good vehicle. As I say, I'd attempted this previously twice with the Twinsteer and failed miserably, which I always feel the Twinsteer is more stable when it's carrying cargo because it's all in one, so the weight of the engine keeps the vehicle completely on its wheels. Whereas obviously if you've got a trailer attached, there's more ways it can tip. That doesn't affect the cab, and if you're not affecting the cab, you're not using the weight of the cab to keep you on the floor. Whereas the Twinsteer, because the cab and back are connected, the cab actually helps it stay grounded. But yeah, I've found that to be, for this job especially, the worst vehicle to use. But this is why I like to try different vehicles. Yes, you may fail a few times. Right, straight across, follow the road round, over the bridge, and onto Smithfield Dam. Fairly simple, hopefully. Fingers crossed. But yeah, that's why I like to use different vehicles. Once we get this to where we need to get this to, we'll swap vehicle for the second delivery of cargo. I don't want to use the same vehicle over and over again. I want to keep changing them up. Yes, it may be a bit slower at times, it may be more difficult at times, it may go wrong more, but I think it makes it more varied. You know, just using the same vehicle over and over and over again, for me, just isn't the way I want to do it. There may be situations where we don't have a choice, admittedly. You know, if only one vehicle can carry long logs, that's it. You know, we've got to use it for all the long log stuff, but hopefully we have a bit more choice. We have got some logging missions to do coming up at some point in the future. I'm kind of putting them off for the time being, but we will have to do them soon. And there's a couple of them, and they're quite long distance ones as well. Got a bit wayward there, just couldn't control it, going too quick essentially, so it could take a bit of engine damage. Shouldn't be too much of a problem though, just too much speed. That's the thing, we're on the road now, and the Transtar can get up the speed up quite well, but nearly did it again there, took the corner too quickly. Got to slow it down a bit, I think. Right, let's take the journey to Smithfield Dam. Smithfield Dam, we are here. Okay, this should be fairly straightforward. We just need to head down the mountain. I'm assuming it is a mountain. It's definitely not a hill, so I'd say it's a mountain. But we just need to head down the mountain, and the warehouse will be there once we pass the quarry. Fairly simple. We can also pick some fuel up on the way past. We have a fuel tanker near the trader store, in fact, that we're going to drive past. Annoyingly, it's not the first warehouse. If it had been this first warehouse on the left hand side, nice and simple, but unfortunately it's not. It's the warehouse now down the bottom near the really thin bridges near the quarry. I will remember what it's called in a minute. Yeah, it would have been nice if it had been that one, but it is what it is. We can't change the mission. Okay, let's pick some fuel up here, and that should be plenty to see us through. And then it's just down the hill, mountain, road. Yeah, so this is the bit I'm not worried about. There are a couple of corners that can cause problems. I think if we control the speed with the Transtar, slow it down a little bit, it should be fine. The rocks can do some damage to your suspension as well if you're not careful, but other than that, don't really foresee too many problems. I know that sounds like we're asking for trouble, but I should be okay. I'm hoping. Fingers crossed. Okay. All this bit is fairly simple, to be fair. Even the change of surface, the Transtar should be fine. Slowing down a bit. Come on. Keep going. We're definitely seeing the limitations of some of the vehicles by changing our vehicle quite a bit and changing what we use for each mission. Definitely seeing limitations. Or a bit of suspension, that's the rocks there causing a bit of damage in suspension. And it is interesting to see what's good and what's not. We already know the Fleet Star is rubbish at long logs. We didn't have a choice when we used it, but it is horrendous at them. And also them big construction rigs don't use the Fleet Star. Unless you want your wheels off the floor, then you can use it. But generally don't. But back then we didn't have the bigger, better vehicles like we do now. So I wouldn't dream of doing them kind of missions now with the Fleet Star, because we don't need to. We have better vehicles. But there are some limitations. Oh, that must have been a big old rock. That was wheel damage to the suspension, I think, there. Nothing, we can't see some of these rocks, so sometimes you hit them without even realising they're there. And it's just too late. once you get the damage. We're okay, we're in okay shape, it's not too bad. The only annoying thing when you get wheel damage, I find, is on the PS5 controller. It comes through the speaker on it, and it's like a whooshing noise as the rubber's kind of making a noise. So it doesn't really come across in the videos, I've noticed. When I edit them and look back at them, you don't really hear that noise, but I hear it all the time. It is really annoying. But it is just, whenever there's tyre damage, you seem to get it. It's not suspension or anything else like that. It's just tyre damage that causes the noise. It's a weird one. But so far so good though. Now, oh, too quick. It is, yeah, that's me that's been the problem there. I get carried away in my own little dream world. And yeah, when you can get some speed up in a vehicle and then realise, corner, as it's too late. Oh, that was tight. That was nearly another bit of damage there on the barrier on the side. It's just speed. It's just me getting carried away. And I'll forget. We just, you know, pedal to the metal, let's go kind of thing. Whereas I need this. Oh, to that. Oh, I don't know what I was trying to do there. I should have been wider. I think that's suspension, engine damage, and maybe wheel damage as well. We've got to slow this down. We're gonna come a cropper, I think, if I'm not careful here. So let's slow it down a little bit, because I am going to cause this to go badly wrong. And we're very close to completing the first set of cargo, so I don't want to mess this up now, especially if we roll now and lose the cargo down the side of the mountain. There's no guarantee we'll get it back. If we can't get it back, we've got to go back all the way to the start point, so I'd rather not. So just going to slow it down a tad, be a bit more careful on the corners. It does seem to be going side to side. I'm trying to keep correcting it, but it does seem to move around. Oh, there's trees here. That was okay. I nearly panicked because of the trees. Right, taking this a little bit wider. Oh, yeah, wasn't, well, maybe too wide. I think we're okay though. There is, I think, that, if I remember correctly, there is a corner where you're actually driving over the rock on the edge of it, and that's awkward and dodgy. So that's the kind of bit we need to be a bit careful of. If you get that wrong, you could be in trouble. I think it's coming up soon. I think. So difficult to remember all the different bits of each of the maps. I don't even know how many more missions we want to do on this one. I need to check. In terms of the main missions that come up with the companies, there's only 5 or 6 I think left, something like that. This is one of them as well. As we previously finished one of the company's missions fully a couple of episodes ago, I think it was. So we are nearly done with the main story missions from that side of things. And yeah, I think there's 5 or 6 left from the others, and then we've got a couple of tasks in a couple of different places. And then I need to see if there's any upgrades we've missed anywhere. There may be a hidden one we've just not located yet. So I'm curious. I don't know how many more episodes there'll be in Michigan, to be fair. We've also got all the... this is the corner. I'll come back to that in a second. So this is the corner I was worried about. So we're going to take this at the right angle, nice and steady. Don't tip over. That'd be the worst thing to do right now. Try and get it to turn. Trailer's got to come with me. Trailer's getting caught. That edge is very close. Come on, turn left. Come on. Come on. Put it round. Oh, okay. That was the corner I was the most worried about on this part, because that's the one that catches me out. So, luckily we made it through. What was I saying? Oh yeah, how many episodes are left in Michigan? I don't know. We've got the trials, are they called? The ones that are against the clock. We do need to do those. And then we'll see how many we can get into one episode, depending on what they are, to be fair. There's at least, I think there's one at least on each island, on each map. Might be 2 on one of them, I'm not sure. But we'll get those done before we leave. I still haven't really decided what I'm doing with our trailers. I suppose what we should do, especially money-wise, the only thing we spend money on is tyres and upgrades, because we don't buy vehicles. But I don't want to leave money around, which essentially is the trailers. They all, you know, can be sold for money, all cost money. The P16's trailer we've been using costs like $7,500. So I think actually this trailer's about the same, to be fair, as well. So you know, I want to go around, pick a few trailers up and get them sold. At least that won't probably be done on video. I don't see the point. but I'm waiting till we're closer to going to Alaska, I think. I could do it as we go now, but I'm more focused on getting, you know, the missions done and recording more than anything else. But that's the same thing about it. Like I say, we are nearly done with Michigan. I don't think there's a massive amount left to do, and hopefully we'll get it done soonish. Hopefully, fingers crossed. Now we're here, left-hand turn here. Trailer store is just slightly ahead of us here. Nearly went past this. Nearly you just get carried away chatting away, not realising we have to turn here. You may notice I've not marked any of the route up. I don't need to. I kind of know the way, so I don't really need to mark it up. But yeah, I nearly did just miss that turn. But this will be the first of 2 trailer loads of oversized cargo delivered from the ship at last. That is the first one done. I'm so glad that one is out the way. So we're going to get this parked up there now, and then we'll pick the next vehicle. So while we're parking up the International Transtar, we are going to jump across to the next vehicle, which is already ready to go, and we're going to use the Pacific P16 for the next load. Now we have some concerns, obviously long trailer, big wide trailer as well as big wide cab. Hopefully this goes as well as the previous attempt. Hopefully no need of the crane, but we shall see. So let's see how the Pacific P16 gets on with its oversized cargo. Right, I'm already worried. I just think this may have been a mistake. I've made mistakes with the Twinsteer already, so I know that's there ready to use as well. If this fails, we've got that to try again with, as you probably just saw it. But yeah, I'm hoping we can get round. This is probably the worst part for the P16, is this bit. That trailer is extremely long, extremely wide, but I prefer it. It's the trailer with the axle. Is it 3-point axle or something it's called, I think? I prefer that trailer on the P16 to any others. You can get another one of these that doesn't have the 3-point axle. I think it's a 3-point axle. I want to say it is, but I could be completely wrong, to be fair. Doesn't matter. Let's focus on trying to get through. But yeah, I think it is. Don't know. I think we just need. I should focus on what I'm doing rather than thinking about what trailer it is. But yeah, I just think it moves more, which is what we need on some of these tight corners. We could have gone with a loose trailer that connects just off the back rather than the low saddle connection. But I think they're too easy to tip. I'm not a fan of those type trailers. I'll try to stay away from them, to be fair. May have been better here though, although we haven't done too badly. Them rocks were the bit I was worried about. In terms of flipping this with cargo, I don't think it's going to be that easy, which is a good thing. Basically, mainly because the Pacific P16 is very heavy. So with the cargo on as well, we are getting stuck in the mud here. This wasn't an issue with any other ones. What's going on? I have said previously, I think it was this one I was saying it doesn't have diff lock. It does have diff lock. The diff lock is permanently on, which means all the tyres spin at the exact same speed all the time, which is definitely a good thing. It definitely makes up for the fact it doesn't have all-wheel drive, and this is a good way of getting your power down, especially evenly as well. But yeah, I haven't really got many concerns in terms of tipping this over. I think that bit of it isn't an issue. It's the tight corners that is my concern. Whether we can fit is my issue. Getting there wasn't too bad. I'm probably not going to show us driving all the way here because this video would be stupidly long. But yeah, I think we made it okay. There was some tight turns. There was nothing on the trailer, which makes it a little bit easier to go around some of the turns. Whereas when you're loaded up, the trailer's not going to be as free to move, is it? So there is obviously that concern, but I think we're okay. It's good to test these things out and see how we go. The Pacific P16 though has definitely been a workhorse since we found it. It's just so big and powerful. It can carry just about everything, and it doesn't seem to bother it. You know, I know it scored well when we compared it to the other trucks, other cabs. So in all that, it scored really well. I think there were some issues though with it, if I remember correctly, in terms of where it scored on some things, but it definitely does make short work of most trips. But it's things like this that worry me. These are these corners with the rocks where we do get stuck, as we are now. Come on, slowly forward. Low range. Just inch it forward ever so slowly. It's these bits that worry me, just because we may just be too wide. Okay, let's see if we can reverse and get a better angle. It's one of the wheels just getting caught on a rock or a side getting caught. Okay, we're okay now. You've got to get that angle precise. I think that's one of the big things with this trailer as well. Is just make sure the angle is correct, that you don't have to have the trailer trying to climb a load of rocks. You've got to get that wide angle to turn. Okay. We're having a bit of issue with some of these hills, I've noticed. Pacific P16 hasn't struggled before. Whereas now, I actually am struggling with a couple of these rocks. Not rocks, hills. Just don't seem to have the power to get us up sometimes. That could be the oversized cargo causing the issue, to be fair, the weight. Because the trailer's going to have a fair weight to it as well. It's not going to be a light trailer, is it? That's the thing. Come on, keep moving. Just can't get the power down. So we have to winch it up. It's either that or it's the trailer stopping us because it's catching. That's the other thing, isn't it? It could be that the trailer... It's not the fact we can't get the power down. The reason we're not moving on some of these hills is the trailer's getting caught. So it looks like we can't move, but it's because we're caught up behind us. So it's always a bit tricky to see behind, though. That's the problem. Right, come on. Let's see if we can put ourselves forward here. Just got to bring that trailer round as much as we can. As I say, this is the only bit I'm concerned about. The rest of the journey should be fairly simple. And we're good and rocking again. Yeah, the only bit I'm worried about was that bit at the start because of how tight the rocks were. The rest of it, I don't think it's an issue. I suppose actually thinking about there is another issue on the run down the mountain on Smithfield Dam. That corner that has the rock bit that you have to go round. That could potentially be an issue. But all in all, I think that's it. I don't think there's anything else that should cause too many problems. Hopefully. I need to have a lump of wood with me just to keep touching every time I say something silly like that. Just to make sure we're okay. You know, touch wood, nothing's going to happen. I'm trying to jinx myself. Right. We're going okay though. Once we get onto the main road part of this, we're going to fly. But I'll try and control my speed a bit better and just try not to get too much damage. You can see we've got a bit of damage already. That was the journey here, just catching the rocks mainly. Because of the back end of the cab is quite wide, you do tend to catch rocks quite easily when it's a tight kind of bit. Come on, there's that trailer's getting caught behind us because I don't think I'm taking the corners correctly. I don't think I'm taking them wide enough, which is why the trailer seems to catch occasionally. So I've got to be more aware of and try and be better. It's not too bad if you've got, you know, a flat piece of land around the corner. You can go quite narrow, but most of the time we need to be a bit wider, I think, on some of the turnings. But then I forget, and you just drive, and I forget to allow for the trailer sometimes. It's easily done. But so far so good. We're making short work of this trip in Drummond Island. We should be hitting the bridge shortly. Previously, when we actually opened the bridge, we used the Pacific P16 for that. And that bit where you go up with the rocky bit after the bridge, I was really worried about that originally. I had no issues, so that shouldn't be a problem either this time. I think we had the same trailer. I don't know, there's a few episodes back. So much going on, I can't remember. But so far so good. I suppose this is the time of the video I should really say. If you're enjoying this series or any content on the channel, don't forget to subscribe. And liking the episode really does help the channel as well. And if you don't like the video and you don't like how we do content on the channel, let us know. I'm more than happy for constructive criticism. If it becomes more than constructive criticism, unfortunately you will end up being blocked. I don't like blocking people, but constructive criticism is good. Trolling isn't, essentially, and name calling and all the other stuff. But always up for people to say, look, you could have done this differently, you should have done this instead. That's all good. And just don't ruin any story, essentially, for anything else we're doing on the channel. Basically, I start by saying, please subscribe, then kind of goes downhill. But we're ready to head to Smithfield Dam. We're already here, that flew past. Okay, Smithfield Dam, here we come. We are in Smithfield Dam. Okay, we can refuel as well. We've seen it when we did the Transtar, the refueling truck trailer near the trailer store, so we can get refuel. Not that I think we're going to have an issue with fuel. We're around half a tank. don't think we'll have an issue, but we'll just fit it anyway, because from here, from when we finish today, I don't know what we're doing next, I haven't worked that bit out, but we may just head straight there. So always nice to have a full tank or enough fuel to get to where you're going if we just carry on. I don't like recovering vehicles that often. I try and finish a mission, look what's the next mission, maybe closest to us, depending on what vehicles we're using. I'd hate recovering a vehicle than having to drive it forever just to get to a mission. Bugs the hell out of me. I'd rather just carry on up from where we are. Hence why the Fleet Star's still in Island Lake. Nearly forgot. But yeah, it's currently in Island Lake, and it's just because I don't want to recover it. It's there, it can do a job from there, hopefully. And while we don't need to bring it back, I might as well leave it there and use it where possible. So yeah, recovering vehicles, it's just not something I like to keep doing. You may have noticed that, to be fair. Hopefully you did. What was I saying? Oh yeah, about trolling and stuff. We don't. To be fair, we do really well on the channel. We don't generally get too many trolls, comments, or live stream comments and stuff. We've had a bit of spam before. The usual porn sites and stuff try and put their links on live streams occasionally, but we haven't had one of those in ages. To be fair, again, I'm jinxing myself, I know. It's been a long time since we had one of those up here, but it's easy enough to quickly get rid of. And we have got a bot on there that does supposedly stop stuff like that. Now, it didn't work when it last happened, but there we go. And there's mods obviously as well that notice it and stop it. But yeah, it's always weird, you know, when people give you not constructive criticism but full-blown hatred. I just don't get it. I don't understand it. It's one of those things that I would never dream on jumping on someone's live stream or watching their video. And okay, if they've done something wrong that I think they could do better, then constructive criticism is good. But I'd never ever think or dream of going on someone's post or whatever and commenting and just going off on one. I don't understand that. I've seen it on other people's comments and I just don't get it. I really don't. We had it with the when Hogwarts Legacy first released. There was that big hoo-ha, wasn't there, because of J.K. Rowling, and people were being trolled because they were playing it, and they were being told that they agree with J.K. Rowling's views because they're playing a game that's associated with her. She didn't make it. She had nothing to do with the making of it. They used her story that she created, yes, and her world, essentially, but it's a game. I choose to play a game not because of who made it or who's associated, for the story itself. Just because you play a game doesn't mean you agree with whatever the people who made the game have done. People can't seem to set that aside, and the hatred there was horrendous. We kind of avoided it, to be fair. We played on release, but we were and are still quite small, so I think a lot of time we avoid some of this because we are smaller, and that's definitely a good thing. I don't ever want to be extremely big. I like being a small channel. I know people say 20,000 subscribers isn't small, but it is. In my eyes it is, and that's the way I like it. You know, we've had live streams where we've had hundreds of people watching, and it's fine. When I try and focus on the chat quite a lot, you can't do that when that many people are chatting because you can't keep up. You end up, when we had it happen with Ghost of Tsushima, when SLBCLK first came to the channel, and he kind of raided us essentially, and I had to stop playing because I couldn't keep up with all the comments and play the game. That's the thing. And for someone that focuses more on the chat than anything else, it is quite difficult. And I feel bad if I miss someone's comment. That's the thing. Don't get me wrong, getting to where we've got with the channel is incredible, but I like being a small channel. You know, and you are limited in some of the things because of it. You know, we're not going to get games given to us to play for free, and that's fine. I don't need or want that. You're obviously not going to get as many as much ad revenue, and that's fine. Again, I'm not fussed. And you're not going to get as many sponsorship opportunities, which again, if I don't use it, I don't want it. So all these things kind of make me just I'm happy as I am. You know, we started the channel because of this life-changing accident, and it's grown beyond my wildest dreams, and I'm happy where we're at. You know, I don't really advertise the channel, I don't really push the channel. I get moaned at for not telling people to subscribe and stuff. But I like the channel as it is. I like the variety of games we play. I like the fact that you guys pick what we play as well. Yeah, it's one of those things. I'm completely going off topic, I know, but sometimes when you're just driving along in this, you just kind of start thinking about other things, especially when it's a nice simple journey like this one. You start thinking of other things, and then you go off on a tangent. It's me taking the corner too tight. That is a downside to just chatting away as you're driving. It becomes too simple, too easy, and you start just drifting to one side, causing a bit of damage. But we're okay. A bit of damage to the wheel, suspension, but other than that, we're okay. Kind of a wake-up call. Focus what we're doing. But yeah, I can talk for England when I want to, especially when it's subjects that I care about and are interested in. I think that's what I like about this game so much as well. Yes, there is a lot of strategy to it. You have to think, plan, you know, and that kind of stuff. But I like the freedom just to think. Right, this is a dodgy corner. Completely changing subject. This is the time when we've had issues here previously. We've got to be careful. Kind of gone a bit too tight, I think, but we may be able to make this work. If we have to reverse, we have to reverse. This is the corner that worries me every time. Can we get round? Trailer's getting caught a little bit. Yeah, that trailer's getting caught. Okay, come on, keep going. Please don't go off the side. I've got to try and turn, but it's not really turning enough. The turning circle on the Pacific P16 is really bad. Right, we'll have to reverse. Let's get an angle and stop myself going over the edge. Is that enough or is that too tight? Come on, swing it round. I think we've done it. We are free. Free and clear. That means the end is in sight as well. We're not far away now. That's the worst part of the journey on the Smithfield Dam side of things as well, and that is all clear. Perfect. Okay, so I'll try not to get too carried away, go too quickly and damage the vehicle anymore if I can avoid it. We'll try and be a bit careful with this, but we are nearly there. But while we're doing this, a massive thank you to you guys. You know, this channel is what it is because of you guys. You know, you guys pick what we do game-wise, and you all have your say. And yeah, it's been incredible. It's been an incredible journey. This is the problem. I'm trying to talk about other things and I'm damaging the vehicle. I should really stop. But yeah, massive thank you to you guys. You know, without you guys, we wouldn't be doing this. I don't know if I would have stayed sane with the injuries and everything else in the past 3 and a bit years. I don't know if I'd still be sane if I hadn't started doing what we do. It's one of those weird ones. I need to really talk about it properly in a video at some point. I keep thinking I'm making it and just talking about it all. I've got to be careful what I say because insurance is still involved. Until that's done, I do have to be careful. But yeah, at some point I think I'm going to make a video and just really let things out that I've not been allowed to talk about. And currently, kind of thing. It's always good to just say what you think and, you know, let things out occasionally. It really does help. Anyone that I hide everything away. I'm as bad as any man out there essentially. But I think it is good to talk. Anyway, now that sloppiness is out of the way, we're nearly here. I'll just park that one and we'll crack on. So we are going to now deliver this, and that will be cargo from the ship complete. 2 missions done today as well. We did Forge by the Sea first thing in this episode, and now cargo from the ship as well. Let's get this done. And that is promotion as well to rank 15. That has gone. That is done. I'm really happy about that. That is an incredible thing to get done. And it was an incredible thing to get done. But let's see some outtakes, shall we? So this was one of our attempts with the Western Star 6900 Twinsteer. Taking the corner, we're on Drummond Island, and it just slowly winch connected, but it was too late. Turned us over, and we couldn't stop the actual cargo coming off. At this point, I was thinking, well, okay, fair enough. So once again, same place, same area, Western Star 6900 Twinsteer, and once again, it happens. But that is it for me, and that is it for today with SnowRunner. Thank you very much for watching. I hope we see you soon. And we'll be back next time with more SnowRunner.